Well, Dr. Phil's Merit Street Media is filing for bankruptcy and suing Christian television giants Trinity Broadcasting Network and CTC. Filing, the Fort-Worth-based company accuses the networks of harming its business and contributing to its financial.
Could have gotten through it. He is a trial strategist who is also one of the best psychologists I've ever run into. And I've talked to many psychologists over the years doing this show. And I said to Phil at one point during the trial, if I ever needed therapy, he would be the one I go to, and he said, I don't take clients. So,
Dr. Phil didn't just pop up on TV one day. He was everywhere for a long stretch, locking down daytime television with wild ratings and episodes people couldn't stop talking about. Back then, his show felt like must-watch chaos, flipping real-life drama into jaw-dropping moments long before clips ruled the internet. Folks tuned in daily because something messy or shocking was always about to go down. Then things shifted fast. One minute he's front and center, the next he's barely showing up like before. These days, you hardly see him holding that same grip on the spotlight, and a lot of people are quietly asking how someone that powerful just slid off the main stage without a huge crash. That kind of fade doesn't happen by accident, especially not in television. What most people overlook is that Dr. Phil wasn't born from Hollywood hype at all. Long before studio lights and talk show couches, he was grinding it out in Texas as a psychologist and courtroom strategist.
Let's see your talent. Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of.
Okay, stop. Hey, look at me.
Let's
look
see
at
your
me.
talent.
No, hey.
If you think I exploit people, every time you bring a guest on this show, you exploit them and spread whatever the problems they have to the whole world. You think that's helping them?
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. You can go.
We have people dying. 45,000 people a year die from automobile accidents, 480,000 from cigarettes, 360,000 a year from swimming pools, but we don't shut the country down for that, but yet we're doing it.
He built a serious reputation helping lawyers read juries, break down behavior, and play the mind game inside the courtroom. That hustle led him to create Courtroom Sciences, a company focused on decoding jury psychology and trial tactics. That move put him in a very specific lane, and it dropped him into the perfect moment in the mid-90s, right when Oprah Winfrey needed backup during a massive legal fight and brought Dr. Phil into her world. Phil stepped in to help Oprah prepare, breaking down strategy and psychology behind the scenes, and when the trial ended in her favor, that win changed everything. Oprah was clearly impressed and wasted no time bringing him onto her show, putting him in front of millions on a regular basis. That exposure hit fast and hard. Viewers locked in immediately, reacting to his calm tone, confident delivery, and no-nonsense attitude that felt different from everyone else on daytime TV. By 2002, Oprah backed him fully, handing him his own show, and it didn't just do well, it exploded.
Huh? Catch me outside, how about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
Why would anyone believe that Phil McGraw knows something special clinically?
Dr. Phil really isn't acting in the role of a psychologist at all.
He hasn't practiced since 1990. Now, he had his license until 2006, so even if he did know something, how is he going to apply it in that forum? Again, his show is not designed to deliver therapeutic services.
He's not putting the needs of his clients ahead of his own agenda.
So if Phil McGraw says it's not therapy, and he's not practicing in any way, what is it?
He's an entertainer who has studied psychology and who doesn't even have a license to practice.
Dr. Phil's debut became the highest-rated talk show launch in television history at the time, pulling in over 5 million viewers per episode during that first season alone. That kind of dominance was rare, and the money followed quick. The show was raking in tens of millions every year, turning Phil McGraw into a trusted voice inside millions of homes across the country. But TV didn't stay the same forever. As the early 2000s rolled on, audiences shifted online, attention spans shrank, and younger viewers stopped seeing him as a therapist. By 2016, one controversial guest moment went viral, flipping his image overnight and turning him into meme material instead of an authority figure. And that shift hit harder than most people realized. Dr. Phil later admitted he was genuinely confused about why that moment blew up online the way it did, and he spoke on it openly during an appearance on The Joe Rogan Experience. That interview briefly pushed him in front of a younger crowd who only knew him from viral clips and meme edits, not from daytime TV couches or long-form episodes.
All the years you've been doing your show and all the years you've been giving advice, how did this catch me outside girl? How did this happen?
Oh, God. And then this
phrase that got turned into a, whatever, a meme or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It just went crazy. And she was nominated for a Grammy or something. I'm serious. So I take no credit or blame. I just did what I could and haven't seen her since. I wish everybody well. Maybe it'll grow her up. She'll turn something positive out, but I hope.
For a second, it looked like a comeback moment, but that buzz didn't touch the deeper problems brewing underneath. The real reason Dr. Phil slowly faded had way more to do with controversy than shifting audiences. Criticism around the show started piling up heavy, with people accusing him of exploiting guests who were clearly vulnerable and struggling in real time. That narrative stuck, and it spread fast. The most talked about example exploded in 2016 with actress Shelley Duvall.
You don't ever get hurt. It's not like you want to be accepted and held close, and then when people don't, that hurts. So if you come in and alienate everybody and you're pissed off and you push everybody away and you're like a porcupine, then you don't ever feel the sting of rejection. And it's a way to go through life if you have low self-esteem and low self-worth. Yeah. And I think that Danielle clearly has low self-esteem and self-worth, which is really sad because I think she has so many great qualities. I think she's obviously very smart, but I do think she's on a self-destructive course right now.
During her appearance, she showed visible signs of serious mental health distress, making claims that shocked viewers nationwide. She said Robin Williams was still alive and believed people were trying to harm her, and the episode aired anyway. When asked, she reportedly said, "I don't think he stated, 'Where do you think he is?' Shape-shifted." That moment alone flipped public opinion overnight and triggered massive backlash that never really went away. Viewers and mental health professionals went in hard, tearing the show apart and calling that interview reckless, unethical, and straight-up harmful. Online backlash exploded fast, with people saying Dr. Phil should have his license pulled.
I personally feel they swept this under the rug without even bothering to interview Hannah as a victim.
The suit is the latest accusation of abuse against youth behavioral treatment facilities in Utah. The lawsuit alleges Hannah was forced to perform hours of extra manual labor in extreme conditions while sleeping on a wooden plank.
There was already lawsuits before I went there. There's now many more after, but there was one as far back as 2012. Now, this place has been going since the 90s.
And accusing the show of violating over 20 ethical therapy standards. What really made people mad was the silence. After the episode aired, there was no public regret, no real accountability, no pause to reflect, and that just poured more gas on the situation.
To be treated with understanding. Instead, I experienced retaliation from the ranch after I spoke up, and what appeared to me to be a punishment for reporting my...
Instead of slowing down, everything spiraled even further. By 2017, things took a much darker turn when a major investigation aired featuring former guests who had battled addiction. Several of them claimed the show pushed them too far, risking their health just to capture shocking TV moments. One guest was even filmed while visibly intoxicated, and that footage still haunts people who saw it. After that episode dropped, stories flooded Reddit and other forums non-stop. One commenter summed it up bluntly, saying, "The whole show is a scam." Another wrote, "My sister went on it because she was a bully. The show completely changed the letter my mom had." And those first-hand accounts only made the backlash louder. They said moments were sent in and twisted to make situations look way worse than they really were. According to multiple accounts, producers edited responses, including a mother's words, to steer answers in the direction they wanted. More stories kept bubbling up, painting a picture of a show that was willing to push boundaries just to squeeze out higher shock value and stronger reactions on camera. Former guests and insiders claim people were encouraged to drink before filming, while others were deliberately framed as villains or bullies to stir chaos and boost entertainment.
But he's dead.
Where do you think he is?
Shape-shifting.
Do you see him?
Have, yes.
Will you let me get you to the doctor so you can get checked out?
If you so much as attempt to get my moon mole. Oh.
Those choices didn't feel accidental, and viewers started noticing patterns that felt uncomfortable and forced. Dr. Phil's team publicly denied every accusation, but the noise didn't fade out at all. Instead, it got louder as people who said they worked behind the scenes began speaking out. Several former staff members described a workplace culture they called toxic and hostile, filled with fear, intimidation, and nonstop verbal pressure, especially shared openly on social media platforms like Twitter. One post that spread fast read, "I worked on enough Dr. Phil shows to know he's a narcissistic, misogynistic chauvinist. Add racist too. Yo, Oprah, come get your boy." That energy spilled straight into online forums, with entire subreddits popping up under names like "Canceled Dr. Phil," and the criticism just kept stacking up. Phil fatigue was real by this point, and it showed just how worn out a lot of longtime viewers had become. Even with nonstop backlash swirling online, the show kept rolling forward like nothing was wrong. It was still pulling in around 2 million viewers per episode, but the cracks were obvious. Ratings were sliding hard, averaging roughly a 3.2, and the brand was clearly bruised, even if it hadn't fully collapsed yet. Then April 2020 hit, and everything shifted fast.
Nice to meet you.
How you feeling, man? Can you walk?
Barely. I have to have help.
All right.
Sorry, I'm very...
That's all right. Brandon, why don't you get over there and take Debbie's spot?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm sorry, I'm crying because I just can't believe this is happening. So...
Turn around.
It's happening.
Just come turn around.
1,
Okay.
2, 3.
Here we go.
Why do you guys have 9-foot chairs?
During the early days of the pandemic, Dr. Phil appeared on Fox News and openly downplayed the seriousness of COVID-19. That appearance flipped a switch for many viewers, marking a clear turning point in how he was seen publicly. After 2020, his content took an even sharper turn. He began traveling to the US-Mexico border, filming alongside ICE officials and Border Patrol agents, putting law enforcement front and center. Cameras caught him asking detainees things like, yeah, what have you been charged with?" And those moments raised eyebrows fast. What once sounded like neutral self-help advice now felt more like political commentary. Before long, Dr. Phil was speaking at conservative conferences, calling out woke culture, and rebranding himself as a defender of traditional American values. And that shift permanently changed how audiences viewed him.
And I'm sober, I'm hurting a lot, and I'm shaking. My dad was there, and I went and talked to him in his dressing room, and I was completely sober. And then they pull me into my dressing room, and there was 2 liters of vodka and like some Red Bulls and orange juice and stuff like that. You know, being unsupervised by my parents, I drank the entire bottle. And then at some point, somebody gave me a Xanax. They said, "This will calm your nerves." And so I had been drinking and took a Xanax, which I've never taken Xanax before in my life. And I know that can be a deadly combination, so why it was given to me.
After 21 long seasons, the curtain finally came down, and Dr. Phil officially ended his daytime show in 2023. For a lot of people, it felt like the end of an era, but he wasn't slowing down at all. If anything, he was gearing up for another swing at the spotlight. Almost immediately, he launched a brand new venture called Merit Street Media, a Texas-based television network introduced that same year. Dr. Phil framed it as a bold reinvention, pitching the channel as a mission-driven platform meant to fight for what he called the soul and sanity of America. And that messaging was loud and clear. On paper, the idea sounded solid. Instead of chasing a shrinking daytime TV audience, he aimed to build his own network for millions of Americans who felt ignored or pushed aside by mainstream media. The problem wasn't the pitch, it was the execution.
We don't have anything to do with what happens with guests once they leave the stage. I mean, that's between the guardian and the parent and whatever facility they go to. So we're not involved in that. We don't have any feedback from them. So whatever happens once they're there, that's between them and the
Almost right out the gate, the network struggled behind the scenes. Money was burning fast, rushed deals kept falling apart, and by 2024, staff morale had tanked. Layoffs hit early, cash was bleeding out, and by 2025, lawsuits, unpaid obligations, and broken partnerships piled up quick. Eventually, the company filed for bankruptcy with over $100 million in debt. For many observers, that collapse wasn't shocking, especially with the expensive lifestyle still surrounding the brand, including constant private jet travel. Even as Dr. Phil approached his mid-70s, what stunned people most was what he chose to do next. Just 2 weeks after the bankruptcy filing, Dr. Phil shocked people again by announcing yet another media venture called Invoice Media. And yeah, it was basically the same concept all over again, just repackaged with a new name, a fresh logo, and a rewritten pitch.
In the middle of August, I went on the Dr. Phil show. So part of the whole Dr. Phil show is they send these kids to either Turnabout or these other programs that are also in Utah. Coming in the middle of the night, they don't tell them where they're going, they just take them, they handcuff them, they put them in the car. It's basically like kidnapping. That's the thing with these places is you have no evidence. You don't have a phone there. They don't have cameras there. Like there's no evidence of none of this. And obviously all the staff is in on it. So they're not gonna snitch on each other. All you really have is the kids that are there. This place is all about taking away privileges. Like, okay, yeah, the phone is a privilege, TV, like all that. But they take away like necessity privileges, like sleeping on a bed, eating good food, not being cold. Okay, so Turnabout is in the middle of Escalante, Utah. It's a very, 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 very small town. It's got one gas station, one grocery store. Everybody knows everybody there. You see you're in the middle of nowhere. You know there's nowhere to run. If you try to run out there, they're gonna find you, you're gonna get in more trouble, or if you do get away, you're gonna get eaten by a coyote.
By that point, the pattern was impossible to miss, and critics weren't buying the reset. Dr. Phil went from sitting comfortably on Oprah's couch to running daytime television, then bet everything on a sharp political pivot that ended in financial collapse, lawsuits, and public backlash. What once looked like reinvention started feeling like denial, and people were questioning whether this was confidence or stubborn pride playing out in real time. So now it's on you. Do you think Dr. Phil's downfall was inevitable no matter what? Or do you believe this gamble could have worked under different circumstances if the timing or execution was cleaner? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. If this breakdown had you locked in, make sure to like the video, share it with someone who remembers peak daytime TV drama, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives like this. We'll see you on the next one.